Oh, hello, lovely people. Hello. Okay, I'm going to share this in my group real quick. When you join, make sure you go ahead and say hello. If you do join through replay, make sure you type in replay. Hello, everyone. Let's see here. Let's see here. There we go. How are you doing today? Happy Thursday, right? Let's see. Hello. And share. Beautiful. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. So, for those of you who don't know me, hello, everyone. My name is Abigail Mensah-Bonsu. I am the CEO and founder of the Moon Goddess Publishing, the Moon Goddess Academy, and the Moon Goddess Circles. And today I wanted to come in and share with you an experience. Like, why should we challenge ourselves? What is the purpose? And this was inspired by my trip to the sand dunes. And at the sand dunes, there's also a waterfall, the Zapata waterfall. And it is beautiful, especially when it's hot. It's so worth it, right? But the hike is like, it's like straight up. You get some breaks, here and there where it's just like leveled or maybe going downhill, but it's mostly uphill. It's challenging. If you ask my husband if it was challenging, he would just laugh because he's the type of person who just runs up there and he's like, it's nothing, right? But for me, it was challenging. And so the first time we went, we were hiking and we hiked from our campsite. And at some point I was like, God, why do I do this to myself, right? Why am I doing this? What's the purpose here? And I was like, okay, I get to enjoy a waterfall, right? I get to sit by the water. I love water bodies, whether it's a lake, a river, ocean. I was like, okay, I get to put my feet in the river. I get to just be there. It wasn't easy to get up there, right? And this is not the first time I've done that. Another example was in college. It was after I graduated. I was a counselor for young adults who were about to enter college. And we decided to take them on a hiking trip. It was like we hiked a 14er. Now, at that time, I had never hiked a 14er, let alone know what a 14er was. And so I was like, oh, we're going to be in nature. We're going to be walking around in nature. And I remember we got up like early in the morning, probably like 3 a.m. maybe. It was early. And we started walking from our campsite. And we walked and walked, and at some point I started feeling really nauseous, and ugh. And someone said, oh, you're having an altitude sickness. And I was like, of course, right? And so I'm hiking, and it was tough. Like, I was taking it slow and just going, going, going. And there were so many opportunities for me to turn back. Some of the students, they turned back. And so, like they'll ask me, hey, you don't have to, if you're too tired. And I kept going. But this is why I believe that it's important for us humans to challenge ourselves. As I was walking up, I got to a point where literally my body was so exhausted. But the only reason why I was taking one step at a time is because right here, what I was thinking, right here, like my mind's strength is what got me up there. Like I felt like it was the most surreal experience for me. By the time we hiked, I got all the way to the top. And I remember as I was walking, it's like the last bit, it's like all gravelly, when you get to the very top. And, you can see people up there. And they were all cheering me on and clapping and yay, and it felt so good. And I just got up there and I just plopped down. I just sat down and I looked at the view. And I looked down. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I did it. And it was the same thing with the falls. I did it twice actually. The first night, the first day we went, and then the second day we went again because it was so hot, and being up there is just freaking awesome. And I was like, I did it. I did it, right? Two things why we challenge ourselves, why you should challenge yourself. The first thing is that you grow. You grow through that experience because it allows you to really learn who you are. It allows you to, it teaches you about your strength and your fortitude. It teaches you about the power of your body, your mind, your heart. It is such a powerful way to learn about who you are and your capacity and your potential, right? Like if you had asked me down there, like if you had just showed me the 14 and hey, we're going to climb that mountain, we're going to be at the top there, and said, I would have been like, right? My mind would be like, there's no way we can do it. You've never hiked before. How are you going to do this, right? But, and this is something that I also learned as I was hiking, is that at some point, instead of me focusing on what was in front of me, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be climbing this hill again, it's never going to end, I looked at my feet. Like I will always look at my feet, and I take one step at a time. And I'll allow my vision to go far enough in front of me. Like, okay, we're going to walk to that tree. Okay, we're going to walk to that rock over there. And if we need to take a break, we'll take a break, right? And so literally I took it one step at a time. And every time that I'll start to think about how much was ahead of me, what else is coming, it was just like, I wanted to quit, right? It's like, I can't do this. This is too much. How the heck am I going to do this? But when I focus on what is just in front of me, I can take that step and get there. It is little wins, right? The little wins, the little steps that we take to get us to where we need to be. When we challenge ourselves, and I'm going to come back and talk about this whole challenge then. When we challenge ourselves, you're evolving, you're growing. You're learning about who you are. You're learning about your strengths. You're learning about your potential. It literally transforms you. It's a physical way to transform yourself. If it is a mental challenge, it's a mental way to grow, to expand, to change. Here's the thing. Make sure that what you're challenging yourself on, make sure at least it's something that you enjoy. Doing the 14 is about being in nature, fresh air. At every moment I would just stop and literally just close my eyes and taking a deep breath in of that fresh mountain air. And just take in nature, the trees around me, the bees, the birds, and just take it in and then start to walk again. I love being in nature, and I love water. That is my drive. It needs to be something that you already enjoy, but it's the next step that is pushing you. Yes, Mary, if you could see what's in front of you, heaven's view. Yes, you need something that will motivate you, that will inspire you to keep going. But there was something else also coming, but I'll come back to that. It is part of our human potential to challenge ourselves. Whether it's taking that class that will kick your booty. In college, I did that a lot. Now that I'm talking about this, I do this a lot. I challenge myself. In college, I would take some of the hardest classes. So well, first of all, I loved the titles. Like I remember one of the classes was genetics. And I freaking loved the topic, but the exams kicked my booty. I had a C in there, and I celebrated the crap out of it because it was so tough. But the topic was fascinating to me. I freaking loved learning about the human genome and how we evolve. And, even up to now, I love science. I love medicine, right? I love learning about the human body and its capacity, its potential. I love learning about the human mind. If you didn't know that yet, right? I'm such a nerd when it comes to that, right? So I'll take these tough classes so I can learn something new. And these classes were challenging because they were different. They were beyond where I was. But after I took that class, after I passed it, right, I was someone else. I had new wisdom. I had new knowledge. All of that experience is what brought me to this moment. Now I understand the human the human body, the human mind, the human heart. And if I didn't take any of those steps, I wouldn't be who I am right now. I wouldn't be able to serve my clients in the capacity that I do. Being able to understand physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually how to co-create with them, how to support them, how to nourish them, how to push them, right? We need to learn to push ourselves, to challenge ourselves. And it is scary, when I am at the beginning of the hike and I look at the strenuous, hills that are coming, it's like, oh my gosh, here we go. Am I even going to make it up there, right? At the beginning it's scary, but you got to bring into your mind's eye, why am I doing this? Well, at the end there, whatever is at the end there, I want to learn that. And here's the thing, the learning actually begins the moment you take that first step. The moment you take that first step, you completely change. You change mentally, you change physically, you change on all levels. What a powerful way to literally shift who we are. What a powerful way to quantum leap. A simple thing, well, I'm not going to call it simple because that hiking mountains are not easy. For my husband it is, right? He just runs up there and he just loves it. That's his thing. But the challenge is that we choose to take something, or we know we're supposed to take, they're not always easy. They're there. They show up as an invitation for us to grow, as an invitation for us to be more, as an invitation for us to expand, learn more about who we are. When I get up there and I'm like, holy crap, I am strong enough to make it up here. My body is strong. My body is strong, right? You learn something about you. Is so important. So my question for you, and I want you to put it in the comment, how are you going to challenge yourself this week? It's Thursday? Yeah, this week. How are you going to challenge yourself? Are you going to learn something new? Learn a new recipe that you're like, I don't know how this is gonna happen, one of Julia Child's recipes, right? Or are you going to go hike a mountain too, right? What are you going to do to challenge yourself? The first thing is that you got to recognize why you're doing it. This is not just about taking up any challenge, right? There has to be some kind of passion. There's something that pulls you to it. And usually you're like, I can't do it, right? But it's a pull. It's a passion. It's a drive. You're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do this. I really want to do this, right? That has to be there. You have to have the love for that challenge. I feel like challenges helps you understand your limitations. And it also helps you understand that your limitations are, I want to say, like an illusion. They're like an illusion because you can break through them. It teaches you how you can do more than your mind wants you to believe. Our limitations are what we think. If I stand at the beginning of the hike and I say, I am not going to be able to do that and never take a step, I would never know. I would never know that I would make it up there. You have to first decide, this is going to challenge me, but I'm going to take it one step at a time. I'm just going to move 1 foot at a time. I'll take as many breaks as I need to, but regardless, I'm going to make it up there. It changes you in a big way. Changes you in a big way. So put in the comments, how are you going to challenge yourself? And are you already doing that? If you are currently challenging yourself, right? What is it? What is it that you're walking through at this moment? I want to hear from you. All right, my loves. Thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, my loves.